Regular meeting of the Tangipahoa Parish Rural Fire Protection District Number 2 for December the 23rd, 2019 will come to order. Secretary, call roll, please.
Mr. Forrest? Present. Mr. Bailey?
Present.
Mr. Joseph? Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgell? Here. Mr. Mayhew? Here. Mr. Wells?
Present.
Mr. Vial?
Here.
Mr. Levine? Mr. Cortez?
Okay, well, first things off the bat, before we forget it, we need to add to the agenda for Wilmer to go out on bids for a used fire truck.
I'd like to make the motion added to the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Forrest, second by Mr. Vial to add the item of a purchase of a used fire truck for the Wilmer Fire Department. Roll call.
Are they just approval to purchase?
Yes.
Approval to seek bids
Seek bids.
on a used apparatus.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgell?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
There's no discussion. I'll make the motion and then go out.
Motion by Mr. Forrest.
Second.
Second by Mr. Vial to allow Wilmer Fire Department to go out for bids on a used fire
Approval to
truck.
seek bids.
Approval to seek bids, I'm sorry.
Y'all got some kind of bids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgell?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Number one, Ponchatoula Fire Matters, approval of surplus and auction assets. What you got, Dennis?
We have a property disposal form, and the chief of Ponchatoula had submitted this. We have 3 items that he wants to list on for Gov Deals on the auction site. One is a 2007 GMC Yukon, a 2003 F-150, and a 2004 F-550. He wants all of these vehicles to be declared surplus, and we can put them up on auction site Gov Deals.
Also move.
Second. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Vial, second by Mr. Bailey, to declare 3 items for surplus and to advertise on Gov Deals for Ponchatoula Volunteer Fire Department. Roll call.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgell? Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Okay, we got a motion passes. We need to go back. Adoption of minutes of regular meeting November the 25th, 2019. Motion by Mr. Wells, second by Mr. Joseph. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Number 2, Independence Fire Matters, ratification of a part-time employee.
Chief had submitted paperwork, and it's all in order, and it's for 1 part-time position at $9 per hour.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Joseph, second by Mr. Wells. Roll call.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgell? Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next item will be Hustler Fire Matters, ratification of a position.
The same thing with this. The chief did submit the paperwork. It is for 1 full-time position at $10 per hour. We'd like to have that ratified.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Bailey,
Second here.
second by Mr. Vial. Roll call.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgell?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Motion passes. Number 4, Wilmer Fire Matters, ratification of a full-time position.
We have 2 items for the Wilmer Fire Matters, the ratification. One is for the chief, that I'm asking that we table this until I can get some further information on. It is for the chief.
I'd make the motion to table the position of the chief.
Okay, motion by Mr. Forrest. Who's that? Vial or Joey?
Mayhew.
Mayhew, to table the Wilmer Fire Department matter of chief until further notice.
So
Roll
we get some
call.
more information.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgell?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. What else you have for?
He has one position that he would like to have ratified, 1 full-time position at $10 per hour.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Forrest. Second. Second by Mr. Bailey. Roll call.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Rachel?
Yes.
Mr. Mayu? Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. You should have copies of your monthly reports and register on your iPad. Administrator's report. Huh?
We didn't get them, did we? It's not on it.
Did you get them? Oh, maybe they're not ready yet, huh?
I don't know, but we
We
didn't.
didn't get
Okay.
All right.
do a check.
Okay, Dennis, you got anything?
Yeah, under the administrator's report is, item number 5 is the adoption of the event policy. Mr. Joseph was the chair of that committee. We had Chief Morrell, Chief Polito, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Vial, and myself on the committee. We met, discussed it. We came up with a policy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, y'all have it was handed out to you just recently to go over. Mr. Joseph, would like to add anything to this?
Not really, except to say that I think it's a solid policy. Also, if we do otherwise, then we set ourselves up for failure. Possible also. So we had to protect personnel.
If you want, I will read the policy.
Yeah, if you
Please
don't
do that.
mind, please.
ahead, please.
The policy is the vehicle riding policy. The policy states that at no time shall any civilian would be permitted to ride on any vehicle that is insured by Tangipahoa Parish Rural Fire Protection District 2 other than unforeseen emergencies. What we're talking about here is, as far as at no time this shall they ride, is a fire truck rides, open house events, parades, field trips, and etc. At no time shall any person, paid or volunteer, ride on the top of the truck, same thing insured by the fire district, on top of the truck or tailboards. They must ride in the passenger compartment, properly seat belted in. This policy will, if it's adopted, will be put in record on December 23rd, Fireboard meeting. This policy will be part of the fire contract.
Okay.
Will this affect, like, say they have the kindergarten kids come to the fire department to,
They can be, put them through, but they cannot ride on the truck.
right, I understand, I just want to make sure it's
Yes.
not going to affect them.
No.
They'll be able to get on the truck and
Yes, sir.
they show them the trucks and stuff like that.
One more question. Tell us a little bit about the background of this policy.
The reason this came up is, look,
Well, not only the background, but in other words, where did this policy come from?
I had, at one of the previous meetings, y'all had asked me to look into it and to call and investigate it. What I did, I called several departments, and the departments that I called was St. George Fire Department. I spoke to a captain out there. Baton Rouge Fire Department, I spoke to the training chief. The Jefferson Parish Fire Department, I spoke to the superintendent himself. And the Kenner Fire Department, I spoke to the chief of the fire department also. None of these departments allow any civilian to ride on them at any time unless it's an emergency.
And that emergency would be if a firefighter got hurt or something and it was quicker to get that truck and get him to the doctor or...
Whether it's the fire department, a fireman, or if that a civilian, God forbid we had to transport somebody, that could be done. But at no time do they allow anybody, all these departments, ride on the tailboard or on top of the truck. So that's, I can give you all the references. I mean, I can give you the names of the people that I spoke to, if need be. But that's the departments that I did talk to.
I just wanted that out there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Calling at this, when we talked about this, just look around you. For every rule, regulation, policy, ordinance, law, there's a reason why that rule, that law, that ordinance was created. So there's a reason behind this as well.
There was also some paperwork, and forgive me for not having it with me tonight. from VFIS Insurance, and I provided it to the committee, where it shows they are saying, no, you do not ride.
Well, that's the main thing, because,
Yes,
There's a reason.
you know,
There's a reason why they said no.
yes.
look, it's not 1970 anymore. You know, used to, somebody got hurt, they would get themselves up and they'd move on, but now, you know, you're in a sue crazy mode, you know, not to say if somebody gets hurt, but if we can avoid the situation, we need to avoid it.
Don't talk about doctor, talk about lawyer.
Yeah, and I want to thank the committee for working on this, and
Did we make a motion?
I'll ask that someone make a motion. We have a motion by Mr. Joseph,
Second here.
second by Mr. Vial, to accept the policy as written, to be entered into the contract dealing with the riding of private citizens on public fire trucks in the
I
parish.
want to ask a question for you. Did you get any resistance from any of the fire chiefs about this?
No, look, I haven't, I've spoken to the several of them, and really, we had one that did speak up that night, that, you know, we had insurance that would cover us. Well, come to find out, we don't have insurance to cover it. But no, I mean, I think it's going to be generally accepted.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call?
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgel?
Yes.
Mr. Mayu?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Motion passes. Do we have a motion? You got anything else?
It's the adoption of the resolution.
Okay. We have a resolution on here that came from the CPA. This is part of the resolution that we need to establish as First Guarantee Bank being our source for our deposits of our fund. So I'll need a motion to accept to start for the new year.
So moved.
A motion by Mr., was that Mayu?
Yeah.
Vial? Mr. Vial, second by Mr. Joseph. Roll call?
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgel? Mr. Mayu?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Okay, and anything else, Dennis?
That's it.
Do we have a motion to accept the administrator's report?
Yes.
Motion by Mr. Joseph, second by Mr. Ristel. Roll call?
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Ridgel? Mr. Mayu?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
I do have one more thing.
Oh,
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
same to you.
Well,
Now your turn.
my turn. I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Okay, motion by Mr. Wells.
No.
Come on, somebody speak up.
Second.
Second by Mr. Vial.
I don't go.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?